Hey everybody, Chad Taylor coming at you live. Just want to double check, make sure that we in fact are live. Looks like we're all set. So today we're going to be covering the foundations of the earth. And what does that mean? Are there really foundations of the earth? And I know in the Bible, if you've read the Bible some, we've come across that term and we kind of naturally go, well, maybe it just means the founding of the earth. Maybe it just means when God made the earth. Maybe that's what it is. And that's kind of the mindset I had growing up over the years when I put no thought or um, no act of researching the subject into it. So anyway, so right now we're going to go to page number 203. Check this out. So foundations of the earth, found on page 203. Now, I just want to cover mostly the top line here. So this is the section where it shows just kind of in different terms the earth, the firmament, where is God. Well, this one's the foundations of the earth. So I want to cover mostly the main topic, the earth is set on foundations. So see pages, you can read all these numbers here. So let's go to the first one here. See page 20. So it's page 20 of the book, 1 Samuel 2:8. And so, for the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and on them he has set the world. I covered this, I think, in yesterday's video, but for the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and on them he has set the world. For the foundations of the earth are the Lord's, and on them he has set the world. And for the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he has set the world upon them. So, is that pretty straightforward? If you don't think about this with your glasses on, and if you don't do this, right? If you're not like this, just take these off for a minute. The glasses the world has given you, take them off for a minute. Is this pretty straightforward? Yeah, plain Jane. On them he has set the world. So this here, I think we can all agree it says the earth is set on pillars. I think we can all agree that that's what it says. Whether you believe it or not, it's a different story. I think we can all agree that's what it says. So the next page, page 30. So where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who determines its measurements? Surely you know. Or who stretched the line upon it? On what were its bases sunk? Or who laid its cornerstone? So if you think about this in building terms, if you guys have done construction, I've done it a little bit. I understand getting the foundation ready and marking it out, staking it out, getting all the prep work done on the ground, and then all of a sudden you start, you do your measurements and you make sure everything is all your forms are set right and the right measurements, the right height, all that kind of stuff, and your grade is correct. Well, this is building terms that God is saying right here, to Job. And so these are building terms that he's saying, or who stretched the line upon it. I mean, it sounds to me like he's almost saying, well, who used the tape measure? It's like these are building terms for a foundation. And I think we can all agree that that's what it's saying, is it's construction type terms. And so if we go to the next example, page 40, he set the earth on its foundation so that it should never be moved. Okay. Yeah, there we go. 46. When he appointed the foundations of the earth, when he marked out the foundations of the earth, when he marked out the foundations of the earth. So same thing. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I didn't give you to the... My bad. When he marked out the foundations of the earth, this is page 46. When he marked out the foundations of the earth. And so same thing, more building terms, just like this. Talking about building terms of the foundation. My hand laid the foundation of the earth. This is page 54. I am he, I am the first, I am the last. My hand laid the foundation of the earth, and my right hand spread out the heavens. I alone am God, the first and the last. It was my hand that laid the foundations of the earth. I think we can all agree it's saying that he laid the foundations of the earth. Sounds like building terms to me, really. if the heavens above can be measured, then the foundations of the earth below can be explored. The foundations of the earth below. So, page 58. Just as the heavens cannot be measured and the foundations of the earth cannot be explored. This is pretty straightforward, that it's saying there's foundations of the earth that cannot be explored, and they're below. Yeah, that's what it's saying. Do we believe it or not? I don't. Okay, so let's see. This is page 96. Foundations of the heavens. We already covered that one. Let's see here. Foundations. Lord Thunder. Oh, here we go. So, verse 16. Then the channels of the sea were seen, the foundations of the world were laid bare. At the rebuke of the Lord, at the blast of the breath of his nostrils. So, God himself exposed the foundations when he came down in this example from 2 Samuel on page 96. God himself exposed the foundations and the channels of the sea at the blast of the breath of his nostrils. That's pretty incredible. I mean, he sounds like he was really angry. And don't put limits on God. Can he do that? He did. And that's what it says. So the foundations were laid bare. But notice in the previous examples, there can't be explored. The foundations. So if the heavens above can be measured, then foundations of the earth below can be explored. So they were laid bare. They could be seen. But this shows, obviously, that we can't just go off exploring them. But God can certainly blow his nostrils, and where we can see them. Let's see. And the last example here is the windows of heaven are from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake. And so if we go back to the original one here on page 203, just the different terms here that we can see, just the different examples of the foundations of the earth. Foundations of the earth are also called pillars. See those pages. Foundations cannot be searched out. We already covered that. God holds earth's foundations steady. God laid the foundations of the earth. Man cannot measure earth's foundations, but God did. The foundations of the earth has a cornerstone. The foundations of the earth were exposed. Foundations of the earth were marked out. The foundations of the earth can shake. The foundations of the earth are attached to something else. The foundation of the earth is on a level plane. God measured across it. So, I guess the question is that in the Bible that it says those things? That, I mean, yes, I don't think we can argue that it says those things. The question is, do we believe those things? Do we believe what it says, or do we have to turn this into some kind of analogy or metaphor? And this is not all the examples from the Bible. This is just a handful of examples from the Bible. There's more examples than this. So, anyway, this is Foundations of the Earth. I'm Chad Taylor. Thanks so much for watching. Tune in tomorrow. Remember to subscribe, like, share. Appreciate you guys, and we'll